kai iniki iawa ha'aka. Ia oaya anaya iaka. Ua usu unu upu uku anaya iaka. Ia aya wa ua anaya aya. Ia wa anaya aya u uku ukunaya aya wa uapua. So taking a moment to simply call back all of the people that were on the live already. It's kind of funny to be in midstream of a transmission while YouTube cuts us off. So again, just starting off for those who are on the live, I want to keep this flow of energy moving gently and easily. Diving in, tapping in. Allowing that space again to continue to be held. And feeling what is arising. We're just shifting into, after releasing and finding those edges and expanding, we're just shifting into bringing in the dreams and the desires of what it is that we are calling in. So as we have made room in that spaciousness of letting go, as we have made room in the spaciousness of leaning into those edges, as we have made room in the spaciousness to be able to open ourselves more freely into the guidance of what has been and into the guidance of what was, surrendering even a little bit more to let go. As we focus, remember at the beginning of this transmission, we talked about focusing on what it is that's working for us. And so when we're leaning into that spaciousness of what is working for us, we're allowing and allowing and allowing that energy to expand. So in the projects or circumstances or things, a direction that you know you're going in, give yourself a moment to open more clearly. And breathe. Iowa anaya, Iowa anaya, Iowa anaya, Iawa aka, anakai iliki, anakaikai, urukurukai nikiawa ahakayawa. Ikayawana Iawa usukunuiwa, uakanakiawa haanakai, ia ni Iawa akapu ukuanakai, ia anakayawa haaka, isisianiawa, isisianiawa, Iawa akayawa, anaki Iawa haakapu unukiawa, creating a beautiful, nice bassinet, a space that is allowing all of the openness of all that is coming through into your world to be gently laid, gently aligned into your field of awareness, into your own higher self connection, into all that is working for you. Breathing in and honoring yourself first. Again, focusing on what is working. Focus on what is working. We're priming the pump. So what that means is what is working is going to start, dripping out just a little bit. And as we continue to prime the pump and we continue to focus on that, the field of awareness, the field of possibilities is going to open very wide, very big, and very vast. And so you can program this how you want it to happen. If you want it to happen quick and fast, if you want it to happen in a way that you're able to ascend and grow into it, beautiful. Allow it to really slip into the conscious presence of your own mind, honoring the divinity within your own self, using the powerful practice of loving yourself, of that karuna compassion, that there's no separation between you and you, that in the spaciousness of what has been, what you are creating, and what you have learned, integrated, and let go of, you can really start to feel the power of the magnetism that is your own authentic alignment. And bringing that in, bringing it in a really powerful way. I have a lot of energy moving through my body, so I'm feeling all sorts of creaks and cracks happening right now. Give yourself a moment. You feel that energy picking up a little bit more? You feel it speeding? That there's more velocity, there's more movement taking place, there's more shifts happening, there's more blossoming inside of your own heart, there's more blossoming inside of your own awareness, there's more blossoming inside of your own possibilities. This is the quantum field. There's infinite possibilities available. So now that we're in that quantum field, and now that we're feeling that movement happening, now that we're feeling that alignment taking place, now that we're feeling that shift, that transition really moving us very quickly, now is the time to open, and feel yourself letting go of all constrictions, all resistance. Open, 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 open. Open, 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 and simply let go. Give yourself the spaciousness of embodying freedom. Give yourself the spaciousness of embodying your own light. Give yourself the spaciousness of really, really, really surrendering to all that is here available to you. That you are deserving, that you are worthy, that you are enough. Who are you to not experience the value, the absolute beauty and unconditional love? Who are you to not experience the bounty of the blessings, of rewards and resources that are available here for you to be able to open your field of awareness into a higher state of possibility? Who are you not to be able to receive all of these things? These are things that are soul contracted for you before the moment of incarnation. You knew that you were coming here with a very important plan. You knew that you were coming here with a very important mission. You wouldn't be watching this video if that wasn't true. So you knew these things about yourself. You knew that there was something unique and something different that you have to offer, and that you're bringing it here. So all of the challenges, all of the struggling, all of the strife, all of the things that have taken place in all sorts of different ways, as you open yourself into the possibility of what is being available to you, what is being shown in this quantum field of possibilities, you're able to see that there's something beyond magnetic taking place. Something absolutely beyond magnetic. It is pure, authentic alignment. And everything that is not vibrating at a simpatico or similar frequency is falling away. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this transmission, which is now on a different video, I mentioned that I really wanted to make sure that we had the opportunity to connect and ask some questions before we find the end of our call here. So I really do feel that we went quite far I really do feel that we went quite wide, and allowing all of that energy to come into a spaciousness where we can feel grounded, where we can feel present, where we can feel clear about that, and also connect with ourselves and with each other. So again, because we're on another video, if you could go ahead and like this one too. Look at that, double whammy. That would be much, much, much appreciated. And for those of you that are here with me live, please feel free to share any questions or any insights, anything that came through for you that you feel very clear and empowered with now, that is open to your own heart space. And Christina, you are so welcome. I'm glad this is helpful for you. It's amazing what bringing in that space. Lori says, wow. Yep, I feel it too. I feel it too. I am buzzing in my chair right now. I really, really, like, sincerely, from the depths of my heart, love being in this space with you. I love sharing these connections. I love being able to offer these connections and insights in this way. So again, my intention is to hold that space so that you can see for yourself more clearly what is coming for you and through you in this world, in this life. And simultaneously, of course, I have a goal of growing this channel to be able to reach more people and offering these teachings openly for free. And so with that, of course, if you feel called to donate, if you can, that would be very, very helpful, especially in this growing stage. I really, really appreciate that. And then, of course, liking, sharing, commenting, doing all of that on all of the videos. It helps so much. So your support in any way that you're able to share and show is very, very well received right now. So again, if anyone has any questions or comments, please feel free to share or elaborate a little bit more. I want to continue holding space in a more active container so that you feel that you are, again, held in the integration. Beautiful. A lot of activity happening in your heart and lower chakras. Yes, I also was feeling a big, 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 deep root chakra clearing. I still am. There's still a lot of activity going on there for me as well. So when that is taking place, again, it's like lean in and surrender. Lean in and open. If you can, sometimes this is another visualization that I do, is that I make myself really, really small, especially when I'm working with my own DNA, but I make myself really, really small, and I go into the space of my root chakra. So instead of seeing my root chakra as small and I'm here, I make myself small and I go into and basically look at what's going on in the root that needs my attention. What is it that my soul is calling to support? What is it that, is there for me to learn? And maybe it's just releasing baggage. Maybe it's just clearing it out. As I mentioned, the collective has gone through a massive, massive, massive shift through a lot of fear programming and scarcity that has triggered a lot of our survival mechanisms. So the survival mechanisms, they're programmed in our root. That is our connection to earth. That's our human survival. So the root chakra gets really, really open and can also get really, really cloudy. So if you are an empath and you're living in this world, chances are you're not just feeling your own fear of what might happen. And because we associate money so strongly with survival in this day and age, because it is so closely associated with our food, water, and shelter, financial struggles as well can really be activated in that survival place. So lower back pain, lower back problems, hip misalignments, these sorts of things. These are indicators of an energy channel that's blocked, associated with survival. So when we use these tools, such as these transmissions, to be able to shift our frequency, what we're doing is we're also releasing ourselves from the match that we have with the collective. So it's possible that your subconscious mind is clicking in and like, oh shit, like things are getting real. Maybe I do need to worry about planning. Maybe I should buy some more canned food. Maybe I should, whatever that is. It's being able to identify and acknowledge the things inside of your world and inside of your life that are opening you into a greater calling so that you can feel what you need to feel and master your energy to be able to rise above what is being processed collectively. And so even as I'm saying that, I'm feeling a lot of those collective frequencies that sometimes, especially if we're feeling them in our body, it's hard for us to differentiate between what is ours and what is not ours, what is mine and what is theirs. And so when you are giving yourself the spaciousness and the grace to pay attention to this and open that field up for you, that's when the healing really starts to occur. And that's what I mean. If the collective is vibrating here, and just for you to be free of it, it's important for you to raise your frequency in such a way that you're not bumping into the chaos that's down here. Ways that you can do that. Easiest way, stop drinking alcohol. If you're smoking cigarettes, if you're eating processed sugar, processed foods, physically, if you start taking care of your body physically and you start putting high vibrational nutrients, fresh fruits and vegetables, as much of that as possible, if you just focus on that instead of this is not what I'm eating, but this is only what I'm eating, is fresh fruits and vegetables and things that are really sustaining for your body, really allowing you to feel high vibrational, centered, clear, passionate, these things, it's way easier for you to pop above. But if you're eating the processed food and you're putting toxic stuff inside of your body, even down to the water that you're drinking, it's going to lower your frequency so that it's a little bit more challenging for you to pop above it. So that's one thing that's like really physical and really practical that you can do, as well as doing more of these transmissions. And the thing is that when you do these transmissions as well, it's just kind of a default thing because you're deprogramming yourself in such a subconscious way that you'll just notice that your patterns change because you want them to change. You don't have to put restrictions on, you don't have to put guidelines, you don't have to go on a diet, you don't have to do these things. You'll just notice that you're gravitating more towards fresh fruits and vegetables. And you just want that because it makes you feel better, and you'll start to notice the dip that happens when you eat processed food, that it's just not worth it. If it doesn't make you feel good, then why are you doing it? Like, let's keep it simple. And some of these things are a little bit more challenging to break those patterns of, because they're deeply programmed in our subconscious. So it's like, if it doesn't make you feel good, why are you doing it when you're in a toxic relationship? Well, the thing is that you actually haven't released the attraction point. So if you haven't released the attraction point, then you're going to like really keep bumping into that pattern. And you may be like, why can't I break this pattern? Well, it's really because there's a space inside of you that needs attention. Attention is so powerful. It's so, so, so powerful. When you can just pause and allow yourself to ask, what part of me is acting up right now? What part of me is calling for attention? What part of me wants to be nurtured? What part of me wants to be seen? What part of me wants to be held? What part of me wants to be loved? What part of me wants to be guided? What part of me just simply needs me to sit and be with it for a moment? That's when integration starts happening really fast. Really, really, really fast. If in a moment of a triggered, reactive sort of experience, which we all have them. I've been doing this work for 10 years. I still feel in my body psychosomatic responses when I have certain experiences with men because of some of the experiences that I've had. And I've done so much work on it. But still, there's a physiological response that happens in my body. So mentally, I will watch my physical body respond. I had an experience, I'll just share this story quickly. I had this experience in yoga. There's a teacher, local guy. Balinese are like the sweetest culture you've ever met in your life. They are so kind, it's incredible. But I was doing some poses that he called for us to do, and they were very easy for me because I've been doing yoga for a while. And so he, wanted to add a twist and a challenge to it. So we did them. One of them was a balance pose, and I started twisting. And as I kind of started to lean over a fall, he reached over to keep me from falling. And there was something about it that was so triggering for me because I was like, I didn't ask for that. I didn't want that to be in my space. There was no permission. There was just this ticker that went off as I'm watching my body have this physiological, really heightened, triggered response. And so mentally, I'm like, okay, I know I'm safe. I know that man did not mean to do anything in the way that my body is responding to this experience. But because I have been traumatized in that way, in experiences with men, there was a kicker, a fight or flight mechanism, a biological system inside of my own body that responded in such a way that was like, oh my God, this is dangerous. Just the rage and aggression that I felt bubbling up through my body. And I'm a bit like Elsa. My energy is very strong. I have a presence when I walk into a room. I'm told this across the board. And so when I'm having emotions and when I'm feeling angry or when I'm feeling really triggered, I know that it's felt. And so because I'm also in a room full of strangers and knowing that I'm safe, the environment is completely safe, it was a really, really beautiful container that Spirit had set up for me to reprogram that response. You see what I'm saying? It's like sometimes these triggers live inside of us. And there's not necessarily anything that we can do you can get ahead of the wave and do, I've been doing a lot of EF tapping. I want to be more free in my body. I want to feel safer around men. I want to not have these really intense sort of contracted experiences. And so EF tapping, the light codes, these things, they can go in and unravel. And even then, sometimes what it takes is for us to experience the trigger again, really experience the trigger again, in order for us to have the tool set and understanding of how to move through the energetic connection to what's going on, what's taking place. When we do that, when we open that field, when we open that space of possibility to be able to feel what is truly going on inside of ourselves and to reparent, that's ultimately what it comes down to, is that we reparent ourselves. Okay, in that moment, I'm like, what part of me needs my attention? What part of me needs to know, it's okay, baby girl. When I'm talking to myself and I'm working with my little self, I've got all sorts of nicknames that I had when I was little, but for me, I'm like, okay, what's up, baby girl? What do you need? I speak so kindly and so softly and so gently and so graciously, in the same way that I would if a little girl came up to me now with a hurt finger. How would I speak to her? How would I hold her? How would I be with her in that moment, in those moments? And so all the energy that's moving through and all the light codes and all these quantum stuff and all how cool it can be out there and all these things, what it really comes down to at the base of everything is that we are human beings having a really powerful, yes, expansive, multidimensional experience. But if we have not mastered our own emotions, and this is where you have so many people that are on this spiritual path and they're dissociating with things that have taken place and things that have happened in their world and their life and moving on without integrating these pieces and these parts. And that's where you see a lot of spiritual narcissism and all this shenanigans that's out there, for lack of a better term. But when you're in that space with yourself and you're in that space of just karuna compassion is what they call it in the Sophia code through Kuan Yin. It's that there's no space between you and you. That whatever arises, whatever comes up, there's no space between you and you. That you've got you. All of this, every single thing I've ever taught, anything I've ever put on video, everything I've ever shared in my advanced courses and one-on-ones and on stage. And I've been doing this for over 10 years now. It all comes down All of it, every single part comes down to your relationship with yourself. How confident are you that you have your own back? How trusting are you in your dynamic and connection with you? How do you beat yourself up? Do you speak kindly to yourself? How is it? How is your inner world? Because everything on the external is going to mirror your inner world. Everything out there is going to mirror what you have going on with you. And so that softness, that tenderness, that grace, that when you're feeling your, a lot of activity moving through your physical body and you're, opening all these portals and things and stuff, it ultimately comes down to this. How connected are you to your heart? I've recently learned that in human design, some of you may be into it, some of you may not, that I have a defined heart space. I'm a 4/6 manifestor with a defined heart space. And I don't really study it very much, but I shared that with somebody and she said, "Oh, that's very rare. The defined heart space is very rare." And again, it's one of those things that I have felt or thought that a lot of people experience life in the same way that I do, especially in the heart, because come on, I have hearts tattooed on my fingers. I draw hearts everywhere. Hearts are like the theme for me in this world, in this life. It's like, if it doesn't align with the heart, if it doesn't feel good in the heart, I'm so clear on what's going on in my heart. And I believe that that's part of my teachings. I believe that that's part of my makeup because I'm here to help people define their heart center, to understand what's going on in their heart center, to be clear in their heart center. I've talked to a couple of my other friends who have open heart centers. And so it's like to love themselves when there's so much other energy moving through. It's like that's a key theme of their life work, is how to deepen that space of self-love and how to connect with love when it's undefined. I really do believe that our golden compass, I believe our soul resides in our heart. And that our golden compass inside, that golden space I call it the golden compass, but ultimately it is, if it is not aligned with your heart, it is not aligned for you. This is why you cannot force love. You cannot force business agreements. You cannot force big decisions. You cannot force these things if the heart does not feel right. And so the grand space of alignment is when intuition and heart and head are all a yes. If it is not a full body yes, it is a pause. It is a pause. Do not make a decision. If it is not a full body yes, settle. If it is not a full body yes, sit and do a puzzle. If it is not a full body yes, I don't even care what you do. Go play pool. Go play some cards. Just chill. Do not make a decision. It means there's something better that's coming for you, and what's right in front of you is an expander for something else, meaning that you're learning that there's something, but it's not quite right. It's not quite close. Do not settle. Do not settle. Allow yourself to open. And it's possible that what's in front of you just simply needs some energy and some time to move around so that it is a full body yes. And when it is a full body yes, it is so clear and you will know. But until then, lay low. Tides are changing in a big way. This world is only going to get more crazy. It is not settling down anytime soon. So lay low, be methodic. Be methodic and be clear. Now is not a time to push. It is a time to be wise. It is a time to be intelligent. And it is a time to be deeply connected with the center of your own heart and cultivate relationships with people that you can deeply trust at your core. Those relationships are rare. So when they show up, breathe into them. Be with them. Water the grass. Be direct in your communication. Tell them how you feel. Precision, my love. Precision. Thank you, Marcy. Absolutely. Yep, Robin's saying it's time to stay in your heart. When your heart space is clear, the power of magnetism that you cultivate is so effortless and so strong. Amy, thank you, saying you're loving and resonating. I appreciate the support. When you are aligned in that center of your own heart space, and this is the other thing about defining the heart center and being clear with this, is that most people don't want to be in their heart. Most people don't want to feel what's going on in their heart because of how much pain has happened in their life. So it's possible that we have to have a moment of pain to be able to experience freedom. And the thing is that the pain that you have in your heart right now isn't present time pain. It's pain from what you have been carrying. So your resistance to feeling it is actually bringing it with you every single day. When you actually soften your heart enough to feel, to go into and feel what's already there, that's when you'll be able to open. That's when you'll be open to clear space. That's when you'll be able to start generating more movement, more momentum, more openness, more opportunities. But it has to be felt in order for it to release. And our ego defense system, it's a biological component. It's biologically made up for us. So the ego has an experience, right? A fight or flight, like I shared, like a traumatic experience that creates a biological response that says, caution, this is bad. Caution, this causes pain. A lot of us have that association with love. A lot of us have been horribly traumatized with love. A lot of us have primary caregivers that would tell us they love us and then smack us. That's not love. That's woundedness. That's manipulation. This is why when you're anchored in your feeling center, when you're anchored in your intuition, when you're anchored in the clarity of yourself, which is why if this is not a priority for you, I highly suggest that you make it a priority. Spend more time cultivating this center. Spend more time anchoring the clarity of you and how you operate. Get to know yourself. Look at gene keys. Look at human design. Look at your astrology. Look at these maps of things that give you insights as to how you operate in your light and in your shadow. Know your strengths. Know your weaknesses. Know what you can contribute to a team. Get to know yourself through this period of laying low so that you understand and resonate with if somebody asks you to do something, you're like, that's not my role. That's not for me. Right? I'm not going to be cast in a play as Eddie Murphy. I mean, it's a really random scenario, but it's just not my role. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be the one that engineers a village, right? That's not my role. I'm not going to do it. So knowing your role, cultivating that, that's going to bring your line of fulfillment. All of these things make it easier to navigate this world. And I guess that's really what it comes down to. How can we make this world as easy as possible to navigate? By keeping ourselves safe, our family and loved ones safe. To be able to be on the leading edge of consciousness is not an easy position to be in. It's not necessarily always a fun place to be. We have to say the things that oftentimes most people are unwilling to say to people that they don't want to say it to. So everything that's taken place in your life has prepared you for this. Everything that's taken place in your world, all of the pain, all the things that you've experienced, it's prepared you to be a better version of yourself, not just for yourself, but for the generations that are coming. Because the leading edge, we have had people in the, that have been in their prime in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s to be able to lead this way. I'm in my early 30s. It's like, I know that I'm at this age with the life experiences that I've had to be in this role during this time. I don't have kids. I'm not married. It's like all these things, like it's just, they make sense. There's no shame for me not being married. There's no shame for me not having kids. I look around, it's the timing of societal programming is shenanigans. Like your life path is your life path. Your life experience is your life experience. Yours is so unique. It's so different. No two people have the same journey. And I think that competition and comparison that's so easy to see through social media, like we didn't have all of this before. In some ways, if you let it, you will feel that it has devalued your internal soul experience or what your life has been or what your life is made out to be. And that's not the case. We all have such an important role to play. We all have such an important position. Like, you are so unique. Your values and the things that you know are so important to share in your community. Your lane, whatever your lane is, show up for it. And you're here now, so you are showing up for it. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to do this alone. I like knowing that there's people in the arena getting their ass handed to them too. There's something very calming about it, to know that it's not just intense for me, and that the more we are doing what we can to anchor more light on this planet so that more people can wake up and then know who to go to when they are awake. We all remember at the beginning of our journey, waking up, it's terrifying. You're like, am I losing my mind? What's happening? I don't even like these people anymore, and I've called them my best friend for 5 years. That period, that point, more and more and more and more and more people are going to be waking up. You know, only 2% of the population is awake. We're bringing in more momentum. We're bringing in more awareness. We're cultivating more power. We're understanding our true essence. We're stepping into our full power, and we are so unbelievably guided and supported. It is up to us to activate our free will to receive that support that's available for us, and it's here. So with that, my sweet loves, I absolutely adore you. I'm feeling quite fired up still, but I'm also feeling called to end this YouTube video. Maybe I'll hop on a live in another zone and keep this going because I do feel, a lot of information, a lot of energy coming through still. So I'm going to keep that going. I'll go ahead and say in Facebook, in Happy Empowered Empaths. If you guys want to jump over there with me and keep hanging out, let's do that. I also want to honor and respect the time and space that we have shared here. I've already gone a little bit over the designated time. I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. Again, if you feel called to donate, that would be super supportive, really helpful. Even more importantly, if you haven't yet joined the 7 Weeks to Embody Your Higher Self course, it's available for $222 right now. Unbelievably affordable price. That course will change your life for the rest of your life. We go deep in these, but still with an open container and an open space on YouTube. The energy is a little bit different. Inside the courses, there's something very direct, very succinct. The space is held. It is a self-study course of 8 weeks. But you will experience life-changing benefits. I put everything on it. I'm a woman of my word. I would not say that if I did not fully believe that it is true. So there's a link tree in the description of all of my videos. Also link tree in the description on Instagram at Sitara_speaks. Go find me over there and get access to the 7 Weeks to Embody Your Higher Self course. Christina, you're doing it. It's amazing, beautiful. I'm so thankful to hear that. And for those of you that have tuned into it, please feel free to just sprinkle it into the comments of the YouTube videos here so that people see them. Calling in the support squad. I'm putting down my Wonder Woman cape and I'm saying I need help to do what I want to do, what my goals are, and that is to reach more people with this message. I'm so passionate about it, and I cannot do it without you. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for your grace. Thank you so much for everything. Thanks for just being alive with me in this world right now. It's bananas. Yes. Greg, I'm so glad you're here. Robin, I love you too. Yes. All right, my sweet loves. Let's take a couple moments to finish off with the prayer. Offering a deep, deep, deep bow of gratitude to our guides, our higher self, for each and every one of us for showing up, for finding the space and time to connect here in this way. I deeply appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here is very much complete. All right, my loves, I'll see you again. If you just can't get enough of me, go ahead and watch all the videos that I posted this week for this month of Sitara Speaks. I'm going to keep doing live videos at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time every weekday through the month of November. And that's every weekday Bali time. So it's going to be Sunday through Thursday for US. But Australia and Bali, it's going to be mornings. Yep. Okay. Love you all. Mwah!